Hey, I'm back. Johnny A. Light. If you like this show, this episode, hit subscribe. Today I got a special guest calling in from prison, Eddie Recca. It's Eddie CALLEGARI, also known from Young Guns. And we're going to discuss crime, the streets, our past history, and advice from him about the street life, and if you're a young guy, what to follow. Also, watch me on TikTok. I put a series out about, yes, you're a man, Sammy Gravano. And I'll go through step by step on each one of the episodes on the history of John Gotti and Sammy Gravano and the truth behind the legendary John Gotti and what happened to the downfall of the Gambino crime family. So I want to get into it today. I'm expecting the call in the next 10 minutes. And if there's any questions, call us in direct also, and we'll answer some of those questions. We're in studio, so for the people that asked me about this, I left messages out there for the people that contacted me. If you want to call in, call in. I'll take your questions. We'll ask it to Eddie Recca. And we're going to see what he has to say about my past and also the past of our neighborhood and anybody in our neighborhood that did jail time, were involved with the mafia, no matter what family that was, and exactly what happened in the history of our neighborhood. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks. Sure. So for everybody that doesn't know, this is Eddie Recca that just called in from prison, and we're going to have a discussion about how he knows me, how he knows the guys from the neighborhood, how he grew up, and some of the facts and what he can do to help kids stay out of prison, what he's doing right now, doing time. That's the last thing we want to see the next generation do. What's going on,
Absolutely.
Ed? How are you, brother?
How you doing, John?
Good
to be on the show.
Thank you. Thanks.
I've actually been waiting to hold on. I've actually been waiting to come on this show just to clarify a couple of things, because too many people out there talk out there and they don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they want to hide behind social medias and stuff like that. Come on, it's retarded. But let's clear some stuff up for everybody. Go ahead.
So you can tell me, like, first off, some of the things you hear about the neighborhood, some of the things you hear about myself, people that are, Rambos on these things and, trolls, clarify some of that up and then, tell us, what you want to talk about. And, I'll just let you run from me to everything you know about the neighborhood to what you want to, the message you want to give, the positive message to kids. So you just run with it, whatever you want to say, go ahead.
All right. Well, first I want to start off with my reason for calling in was, of course, like I said, clarify a couple of things. Too many people talk, they don't know what they're talking about. And to get the message out there about the abuse that goes on in prison from officers just abusing inmates. And they're not held responsible. Right. But we're expected as inmates or prisoners to, program and do what we're supposed to do and go back to society, which is cool. And I hope everybody think about the society like that. But the point is it's not what's going on. You come into the prison, the police are abusing you, you're getting more animosity. It's hard. It's straight violence in here, and that's what they want you. They want you to be violent because they want you to keep the focus. They want to keep it focused on the dumb shit instead of focused on what they're doing to us.
Right.
And that's my message I want to get out there.
Yeah. Yeah. We did a show recently about the abuse of guards and the abuse of the treatment of inmates, and guys did some things that were wrong on the street. They come in and they, a lot of guys want to change their lives and the abuse, and they lose their dignity when they're in there. And we talked about this, about some of the injustices and how there's no oversight committee on these guards that are abusing inmates that are inside. So we covered that on another show that'll be out in the next couple of weeks also.
John, there's stuff right now. Okay. Officers, I'm in Fishkill. Officers here, they don't like you. They'll pull you over, to put you aside, beat you up, like your body shots, give you your body shots, rib shots, break your ribs, send you back to your unit, back to your house, and if you're not, just setting people up. That's what they're doing, because what they're doing now is now they're mad that they got to wear body cameras in here. Understand? And they just started this 2 days ago, the body cameras. The officers are mad because they actually got to do their rounds every half hour. They actually got to do their job because it's recorded. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they're pissed off.
Yeah.
They're pissed off. And, you know, it's just, there's so much abuse that goes on here. Even when I was in Sing Sing last year, there's a thing in the Wall Street Journal, how they came in, the SWAT team came in and abused them. Damn near, and whatever, 100 inmates. Beat people up, whatever. That the feds are even actually stepping in. There was a thing in the Wall Street Journal. I got the people right here. I'm trying to look at the thing real fast. There was this thing in the Wall Street Journal. No. New York Times. I'm sorry, John. New York Times. Benjamin Weiser.
Right.
Anyway, it says charges of abuse at Sing Sing spurred U.S. inquiry. All right? But the FBI, you know, government was looking at the FBI, whoever, and for abuse. It's going on constantly.
Well, you know Benny Gerentano, so I talked to Benny a lot from prison, and, you know, he had the same incident. He had a problem where the guards went to work on him and denied it, and they put him in solitary confinement, and, you know, we had that discussion, me and Benny, and by the way, he said, what's up? But
Benny's a great guy. Benny's a great kid.
And you know, we're all friends forever. You know, I'm a little older than you guys. You guys know me since you're a kid. So for the people that don't know me, and they hear these guys talk against me, you guys know me, the real me. So you know my what I'm trying to do is, you know, help guys that are in prison or being abused. I'm trying to help guys that had some bad cases. I'm trying to help guys that were thrown under the bus like I was. And that storyline got changed. So I try to do the positive things for the guys from our neighborhood that grew up doing the right thing and trying to change their lives and send a positive message to kids. But when people are talking against me, like what I'm trying to help and talk about now, what do you say to them? Because you know me.
Listen, all I can say, John, is the stories about you from you. I was younger. You don't even know me from then. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I was so much younger. I was 13, 14, running behind you. You don't even realize it. Like, I watched you as I grew up on 101st Avenue. I watched you with the other guys from the Avenue, you know, the guys from the Avenue, whatever, you know.
Right.
I watched you, John. I've seen it. Honestly, I've seen you pistol with people on 101st Avenue. I had to go, you don't even notice. How about this? You don't even notice. I had to go back around the corner, grab the shells off the floor, jump in the car with the guy. We drove me to, like, by 64 Park. I threw things in the sewer, whatever. Right. But you don't even notice that I know. And my friends that I grew up with, like Jerry, Dan, we see you. We know what you were doing. These other guys, they get to hate on you now because they feel like they can voice their opinion about you now. You understand what I'm saying? Because they feel like maybe you can't run around like you was running around back then. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? As far as retaliating, I don't know. But anybody who says that you're a liar, that you wasn't running around, that you wasn't collecting money for all these guys, you wasn't pistol with, you wasn't doing everything for them, and like basically they're full of shit. Everybody in that neighborhood knows. Everybody used to send you.
Well, they know I changed my life, so it's easy for guys to talk because I changed my life, and I don't want that type of life. I don't advocate it, but you know, when guys like you guys know me, you know what the truth is and what the real is about it, you know. And you know, they try to play my ego so I get mad. I get it, and my message is really to help kids. Basically, the same thing you're on, trying to help other inmates, and you know that's where my focus is. Even though I get frustrated at some of this nonsense, these guys, you know, you guys know I was the guy that was on the street controlling these guys.
John, listen to me. Let me start. Let me just cut in for a second. If anybody that's really from Ozone Park, Howard Beach, Woodhaven, if anybody's really from there, from the 80s up to the 90s, whatever, they can't lie and say you wasn't doing what you was doing because you fucking were. No one can say that. Everybody waving, everybody shit their pants when you used to walk in the room, walk in the bars, walk in clubs. They can't bullshit. You did what you did. No one can take that from you.
Yeah.
You was that monster.
Yeah.
You was that monster out there. The only reason why people are saying what they're saying now because they feel they got a backbone now because you can't come running and hunting them down in the streets at night. You can't do that now. So they feel like they could have voiced their true feelings about you, like, from years ago, like maybe they was jealous of you, whatever it is. But they can't take away the facts. The facts are the facts, Sean. Yeah. You was that beast in the street. That's that.
Yeah. Well, I look at them as cowards back then. I look at them as cowards now. When people talk like that, and when me and you talk on a regular basis, these guys are cowards. They were petrified, but they don't have nothing positive to say.
Listen. Let me get into something real quick, right? All the time I'm in jail, I'm in the feds, right? Doing my time. I'm around all those wise guys or whatever, all those Italian guys, let me say, right?
Right.
And good guys, but you hear things. Then I hear things about you. If I ever catch him, I'm going to do this to him. I'll kill him. I'll do this. I'll do that. But I can't because he's got 10 agents with him every day. Right? This is what people say to justify their not doing nothing because they can't do nothing because they're cowards. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's the things they try, things they try to do to justify. Like they can't justify nothing. It is what it is.
Well, I know, and these guys been petrified of me since I'm young, and they're still going to be afraid of me no matter what, even though I'm not reacting like I used to. So they figure there's no consequences against the way they talk because I'm not going to hunt them down like I used to. So, of course, they're going to talk. This is what people do. They talk. They got big mouths, and you can't shut it. But, my mindset's different. They didn't do shit back then. They're not going to do it now. So, I look at them as, they're all frauds. I know that. And that's why I send the message I do to kids. Don't buy into this crap. These are the guys that are the frauds. I was trying to, unfortunately, that's what I used to do. I don't want to do that anymore. I want a positive message to these kids to stay off the street and don't follow these guys because these ain't the guys that were doing the work I was. So, and you know that, and your friends know that, and everybody else knows that. These guys, they were all intimidated me. They still are. They just figure they could talk because I'm not going to go do what I used to do to them. And I,
John,
that's fine.
I remember the fucking stories we used to walk in and slide the watches right off their fucking wrist. Don't resist. Just take and just walk away from them. And then they wouldn't do nothing because they're cowards. You know that.
Yeah. Well, they go by titles, and their titles don't mean anything to me. They know that. And exactly, I took whatever I wanted from them. They didn't do anything about it, and that's that. But unfortunately, they just want to maneuver young kids, and I'm against that. So, we had long lives in prisons, all of us. And, my message to these kids is, don't waste your life.
John, listen, my message to the kids today, honestly, stay out the streets, man. Honestly, stay there. The streets is overrated. There's nothing in them but trouble. Yeah. Honestly.
Any good guys that are in prison with you, they would give the same message, tell the kids that this is no life living.
No, it's not. Listen, and I'm not going to lie. When I was younger, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we all did.
Now, this shit ain't fun. This ain't fun, man.
Yeah, we all did. We thought it was,
This shit ain't fun at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And, hopefully you'll be home soon and, being a father to your son. And really that's the positive thing out of, I try not, I try not to feed into these other guys because they're just big mouths and never did anything. So, it's easy to talk when you're on a computer or, tell another guy another bullshit story. And that's what they're about. But, I try to stay away from that these days, as frustrating as that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to talk about how the state, right, how the officers now, ever since they took away SHU in the state,
right,
the officers can't abuse their powers now, their authority. They used to beat us up, throw us in the hole for a year, 2 years, say we assaulted them. We're all beat up. That's how they used to play games and control things.
Well, for the people
Now,
don't know, they closed down the shoe. So those are the solitary confinements what people don't know. But go ahead.
Yes, in the New York State prison system, yes.
Right.
So now since they took away the officers in there because they used to be able to abuse their power, beat you up, throw you in the shoe for a year, and be done with it. Now they can't do that. So now what they're doing is, me and another inmate get into a fight, okay, lock them in their cells for 24 hours, let them back out the next day. We come back the next day, we fight again. Or we stab each other, whatever the case may be. And then the next day it happens again. But the thing is, and I want to point this out, they're doing this to manipulate the numbers at the end of the year.
Of course, they're trying to manipulate the numbers because if the shoe is in existence, they get overtime pay for that shoe. It's money to them, for the people that don't know. And that's one of the reasons they want to increase the numbers of violence and fighting, because it helps the system justify the money that they're getting and the money for their overtimes. Correct?
Yes. Absolutely. Now there's such a shortage in officers that they're making them do mandatory doubles.
Yeah.
Because no one's their job no more. Why? Because it's gone to shit.
Yeah.
It's like years ago, I would never see an officer argue with a sergeant or above in front of another inmate. Right? There's no. You know what I mean? And now they're cursing each other out on the tears. Fuck you. Go F yourself. I do what I want. This is my housing unit. What?
Yeah.
There's no structure.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem. And for the people that don't know, there are some good officers, but there's a lot of bad ones, and that's the problem where...
Absolutely. I'm not going to take away from the good ones. You're 100% correct. There are good ones.
Yeah.
But...
They need an oversight committee to oversight what they're doing to the inmates. I've been saying this for a long time. Guys can't get toilet paper when they need to take and I won't curse them. When they got to go to the bathroom, they won't give you toilet paper. So there's something as simple as that. There's abuse. And, people don't, that's bullshit. Or you got people saying you deserve what you get. No, you don't. You deserve to get treated like a human being if you're in prison. And a lot of guys will never go back. And the system is built to try to make guys go back. And this is why I do the talks I do with you and other people that are in the system that are educated. And you're not talking about going back. You're talking about helping kids. And this is the important part. There's a lot of people that nobody's perfect in this world. And I'm not talking about the low-life crimes of rapist or child rapist or, pedophile, things.
No, we know you're talking about.
Yeah. And I'm not advocating for any of those kind of people. I'm advocating for people that did the wrong thing, made mistakes. We grew up in like I say, in our zip codes, it causes us to lean towards, and it's no excuse of, the street life. And that's one of the things that I talk, I want guys like you that have been in and out of prisons, done a ton of time. That so the people that don't know, you've done a ton of time, and your friends have done a ton of time, and all of us, so almost 20 years, and it's a lot of time. It's a lot of waste of life, and now as a father, we want our kids to have a different life.
Absolutely, and I would advise any kid nowadays, honestly, get yourself a career. You know what I'm saying? Just figure out what you want to be. First of all, I'm telling kids, be a kid.
Yeah. Be
a kid in the beginning. Live your kid life. You got all your life to be an adult. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do your kid stuff and stay out the streets. That's it. Because the streets is, it's not.
Well, it's a dead end. You know where it's going to go.
False lies. People lie to you. False lies. Oh yeah, you're my buddy to the end of this, that, blah, blah, blah. Then at the end,
it's treachery.
You turned it back on.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I and I'm going to bring it up again. You know this. I never got caught with anything. You guys know me. I was sitting in a penitentiary and everybody was giving me up. It's not what, these guys try to advocate and switch that story around.
John, listen to me. Ever since, okay, let me go back to something. Your situation, you ran to Brazil. I know this. You ran to wherever you ran. You was in Brazil at one time. You was trying to, and then when you got locked up in Rio, whatever it was,
right.
Rio, whatever. He was in jail there. He was trying to pay to get out. It was what it was. He was trying to, all your ways to get out. illegal, legal, whatever. They, fighting to not come back, to fight extradition, not to come back. You understand? Right. That's what you was doing. I noticed. Didn't happen. They finally won the extradition, brought you back. But in the meantime, what's his name is telling on you?
The whole mafia.
Let's be for real. Junior was trying to tell. He sits down with them. He tries to tell on you. All right. Meanwhile, you're running around for this person.
Yeah. Well,
now he's trying.
It wasn't one person. It was two crime families, really. To be honest, they all were cozying up to the FBI and giving information against me, blaming me. No different than, Ronnie Warham's opening statement. I'm the killer, I'm the loose cannon, I'm the rogue, and I'm the drug dealer. I mean, but these are only a handful. There was, dozens of them threw me under the bus, and, the public really didn't understand. I never got caught with anything, nothing, absolutely nothing. And you guys all do, because you're all from the neighborhood. You guys all knew the truth behind everything, and all your friends knew. I never got caught. They just started giving me up, these guys, and telling other guys to give me up. And that's a treachery of the life, and that's why I tell everybody stay away from the life. It's just the treachery of
John, these guys that everybody look up for, they walk around and play the role like they're this and that. They do that. That's what they do on the side. They'll tell their nephew's little friend, or, oh yeah, report this, or call the cops on that, or they'll make a comment. Well, call the cops. What are you going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that they're calling the cops, but they'll
advocate,
encourage it.
Yeah.
They'll encourage it. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. They're cowards. They hide behind other people. That's what they've been doing their whole life. They hid behind you.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah. Well,
that's just it.
They just did it to Benny. I mean, so the same thing that happened to Benny Genitano. They got him hemmed up in something he didn't do, and they had people testify and lie against him to keep him in jail because they're afraid of him. I mean, this is the life and the treachery of the real world of the mob. And and that's why I'm so against it.
Absolutely, and that's another kid, Benny, that been doing time his whole life like a man, and now people are putting him in jail. Like, come on, that's wrong. They're wrong. They're dead wrong.
Well, they can't handle him the other way.
Especially the street guys. It's not like the civilians. Listen, John, if I go in the street and I do something to a civilian and they get me locked up, well, they get me locked up.
That's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
But if you're a street guy preaching the streets, preaching that life, and then, you're backdooring people, telling them on the down low, encouraging other people to tell on them, you're a coward.
Well, they're cowards, and we're from the, these guys don't do anything. They're not about anything. People really don't know that.
John, the great thing you just brought that up. Let me hit you with this real quick. All the years I'm in jail, talk about you. Oh, if I ever see him, I'll do this to him, I'll do that. But he's probably got 10 agents going to this with him or that with him, and you never get next to him, right? So I don't say nothing. I just always listen to what people say.
Right.
But I don't get into other people's business. That's one thing about me. I don't get into business. I don't, whatever. That's why I just always mind my business about it.
Well,
regardless of that.
Here you could clarify something, too. So when someone says I'm everywhere, you know that. I go everywhere by myself. You know that. You met me out plenty of times in Brooklyn, in the neighborhood, in Astoria, on Jamaica Avenue, in Howard Beach. So when someone says that, that's a complete lie, that I travel everywhere and anywhere. And my issue isn't my past life. My issue is what they did to me, and they try to switch it. They try to switch that I informed on them, which I didn't. I stood in a penitentiary. They informed on me. So it was. I never got caught with anything. So when they talk this nonsense, you know better than anybody the history behind me and the truth behind me. So when someone says I'm not out, am I out? I'm out everywhere.
John, you're out. Well, you think it's the '80s still. I'm sorry to say, you think it's the '80s out every night. You told, listen, when I reached out to you, you told me you was going to be in Astoria. I went brother, met you.
Yeah.
We sat down, we spoke about, we sat on the parquet, and we clarified things.
Yeah.
That's what men do. They don't keep running around like cowards. Everyone says they'll do this, they'll do that to you, but you got 10 people with you at all times. But no, John, I see that all the time. You're by yourself. You got a girl with you. Every time I see you with the girls with your girlfriend. But what I'm saying is, I'm just trying to point out that they're cowards. They ain't doing nothing. Okay, that's the bottom line.
Well,
so why should my thing is this though: if somebody's got a problem with you, why should anybody else deal with it?
Right.
You understand? Yeah. Let that person deal with you. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Why go try to round people up, having kids, putting dumb comments on your shit for what?
What do you think the end up would be if they approach me?
They're not going to approach you. There ain't going to be no end because they're not going to start. They're not going to approach you.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
They're not doing it.
Yeah. We know that. That's my point.
Let me ask you something, John. How long you been on? 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
How long you been out?
Yeah, about 10.
About 10 years?
Yeah.
All right. Then they approach you 10 years, they ain't approach you. Come on, let's just stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on. But my whole point is, though, to the kids, man, the streets is not what it's supposed to be. Get the hell out of it. If you're in it, stay the hell out of it. Yeah. Get yourself a career. Find out what you like in life and get yourself a career. That's all. Yeah. And my thing, honestly, when I come home, my thing is I want to get a building somewhere. Wherever, it doesn't matter. I want to teach the trades, electrical, plumbing, carpentry, potty work, whatever. I want to teach all the trades there. And
you have 1 minute left.
It's going to be for the inner city kids to teach them a trade that they like, and then get them placed in a union.
Yeah. Well,
to give them a career, give them a life. All they want to do is get the kids in the city basketball courts and let them. Come on, give them a career, man. They want to put parks up. Give the kid a career.
Well, that's what this platform's for. Just what you're saying. I try to use this platform for what you're saying, something positive, help the inner city kids where we come from, help them stay off the street. Help them send a positive message, help the younger generation, help guys in prison, help guys that have been convicted in prison for the things that they didn't do, like Oscar Lugo. And that's why I use this platform. I don't use it for that nonsense of those guys in the past because I know what they are, cowards, and you guys know that. So, when they talk like this, they'll never step to me. They're too afraid of me. And even though I have a new life, a different life, but I appreciate what you're saying because I want the message positive to these kids. So
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.